So today is Monday, and you know what that means? That's right, it's time for another edition of the Terrible Movie Collab series, so let's get to it. So what's going on, guys? I'm Mike and welcome back to the channel. If you've already been here before or if you're brand new here, please also feel free to hit that red subscribe button so I can see you again next time. And today I've got a returning guest coming back to the channel who we've spoke about many terrible movies before, and we're back once again. So let me take it straight over to my guest and allow them to introduce themselves to you guys, especially if you've maybe never seen them on the channel before.
Big Mike, what's the deal? Pickles is everything kosher. So to those that's new to the channel, I'm Rashad G from Rashad G Reviews. I talk about movies, pop culture, and depending on how much tequila I have in me, whatever I want to talk about. So me and Mike have we've collabed on quite a few videos now. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, he loves to pick out these horrible movies for me because I think, like our boy Anthony A. Perez, you like to see my pressure up. You like to see me just rant and get mad. But I'm not going to do that this time. No, I'm gonna stay chill. All right, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of seeing me get my pressure up. All right, but yeah, got me on for what's it called? Not a stranger calls. What's the shit called? When a killer calls. I guess it's supposed to be like a mock when a stranger calls, which is a B movie of a B movie. Holy shit. Let's do this.
So Rashad G is in the house. That's right, Rashad is back on the channel yet again to join me on the collab. And he mentioned it in his kind of introduction where we're talking about When a Killer Calls. So this is an Asylum movie. Yet again, they're ripping off another kind of big Hollywood name film, and this time they're doing When a Killer Calls, which is kind of a parody to When a Stranger Calls. So kind of just a little bit of context, me or Rashad have not seen A Stranger Calls, but essentially When a Killer Calls is around a babysitter named Trisha, played by Rebekah Kochan. This babysitter starts getting phone calls in her house, and it is really this strange killer on the loose after killing the family coming to stalk our babysitter protagonist. It's directed by Peter Mervis, and he's done great films such as The Da Vinci's Treasure. Never seen it, so yeah, straight away on that filmography and alone, you know this movie's gonna suck. So a little bit further information about this movie is actually on the poster that you can see right here. When they have Rebekah Kochan on this poster, the Asylum purposely made after this movie on a Photoshop, made Rebekah Kochan's assets look bigger, kind of to attract a bigger audience. Wow, that's some way to kind of market your movie, I guess. And there is certainly a lot of things where there's a lot of consistency issues in this movie. So before I give any further comments on my portion of this video, Rashad, my man, did you have any knowledge of When a Killer Calls? And if so, or if not, do you have any positives you can take away from this movie?
I've had no knowledge of this movie coming into it. I thought it was When a Stranger Calls, which I've never seen, but I know it was a B-horror movie that came out in 2006, and this came out around the same time. So this follows a trend of movies, B-movies, that follow other B-movies that try to capitalize on the success of that one, and it just ends up embarrassing itself. And this movie is an embarrassment. What positives did I have? Only positives I had is when the movie was over with, and like Jar Jar Binks would say, Misa free! No more. Longest hour and 30 minutes I ever spent in my life. It's bad when I'm watching this shit on YouTube, and it's bad when I'm looking forward to the ads. No positives at all.
Well, I can't disagree with Rashad too much, yeah. I will say this, however, I will add on to Rashad. So I know Rashad said the positives was when this movie kind of ended and he's looking forward to them ads. And to be fair, it is on YouTube for free. The only positive that I have got for this movie though is right at the beginning of this movie, we get a death within kind of like 2 minutes of the runtime of this, which was great. I actually really liked that. And I really felt like they were setting up to kind of like a premise, which I felt was going to get like a little bit stronger, or at least kind of set like a tone for this movie. Because the first kill that we see was pretty good. It's kind of like pretty much a knife through the mouth. And I was like, wow, for the Asylum, I was like, this is pretty good stuff. And yeah, after that, there's just nothing. So Rashad, my man, what negatives do you have for When a Killer Calls?
Negatives. Everything. The movie, dull, bland, horrible acting. Nothing about this movie made any sense. Yeah, you saw a couple of boobies, you saw a couple of people getting stabbed, but look, the special effects, horrible. You can see where somebody gets stabbed through the eye. You can see where it's a prop. It stopped where the eye began. There's a scene where your boy's teeth is knocked out. You can clearly see he's wearing a damn mouthpiece. and he's supposed to have like this Joker slit in his mouth. Oh my God. I'd rather eat cat shit with a knit needle than to watch this again. I would rather have a double feature of Tusk and the Human Centipede before I watch this again. My pressure's still not up. I'm still calm. Watching this, I'm like, they bit off a Scream, Halloween, Friday the 13th, pretty much any damn slash movie you can think of, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, put it into a blender, let it sit out and spoil. That is this movie.
Oh man, I can't disagree with you. That's the bad thing about this. The negatives. It's just the entire movie. It just sucks. And somehow, this has got a 4.1 out of 10 rating on IMDb. Now, they have this kind of music, this kind of like sinister, dark music. When the killer, for example, has been in this house, he's killed a victim, and he's like washing his knife and stuff at the sink. However, though, they have that same dark, sinister music for when we get to our protagonist, Trisha, where she's just cleaning a plate. The killer's not even there at the time. Well, how's this suspenseful? And there was one point where I don't know if Rashad clicked on this or not. He probably did. So when Trisha's getting these phone calls from our disturbing killer, they do some kind of like weird camera animation, almost as if it's kind of like a cyber attack, attacking the internal CCTV. Goes, where the fuck has this come from? It's about a killer stalking a babysitter. It's not like the Terminator. They did poor Trisha, who just wouldn't have a night babysitting and making out on the couch with Matt. And when I mentioned about consistency issues before, so throughout the movie, Trisha sports these kind of furry boots. However, when she's in the basement towards the end of the movie where she gets captured by our killer, all of a sudden, the furry boots are off her feet, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe the killer like took them off. But as soon as she gets out the ropes, the furry boots are back on. Well, where did they come from? And all of a sudden, these furry magical boots have appeared, and Trisha's feet are no longer hurting from being barefoot. And the negatives, definitely, Rashad, I can agree. I was just happy when this movie ended. So with that in mind, man, do you have any kind of final thoughts of When a Killer Calls? And what would you say your overall score is for the movie?
I have no final thoughts. This movie was terrible. It was garbage. It was trash. This movie makes Aquaslash look like Shawshank Redemption. Shit. Horrible. But Mike, I love you though, man. And I'll do another bad movie review with you. But you notice, my pressure didn't get up. You see? I'm a happy black man. I'm chill. Alright? So rating, this gets a F. This gets a 0 out of 10. Matter of fact, this gets a -5 out of 10. One of the worst pieces of trash I've ever seen. I didn't lose my temper not one time.
I can't disagree too much with Rashad's score. So with that in mind, my score for When a Killer Calls is...
Mike, thank you once again for having me in this video, man. I appreciate you. Looking forward to the next horrible movie review. And next time I'm going to try to drink a little tequila so maybe I can have some enjoyment. But this one, this was awful. Anyways, Rashad G signing out. See you in the next video. Mike, the floor is yours, homie.
So Rashad, my man, thank you so much for joining me on yet another collab. I really appreciate it, dude, and I love having you on the channel. And I'm also glad that your temper didn't boil over in this one, although I kind of would have liked to have seen that. Now, however, just above the comment box, you will see a description box. In that description box, you will find the links to Rashad G Reviews channels. Go check them out. Go give him some love. Tell him that the Z Review Center, he covers so many great stuff on his channel. He does movie reviews, he does parodies, he does dinner and a movie. He does so many great ideas, and I really would love if you guys did get a chance to support him on his ventures. So the link to Rashad's channel is in the description box below. Please give this video in the meantime a big thumbs up, and also leave your comments if you've seen this movie or if you ever intend to watch this disaster of a movie, because I will leave a link also in the description box where you can watch this movie for free on YouTube, and also subscribe to the channel as well so I can see you around here next time. But until then, this has been the Z Review, and yeah, I think I'm going to go catch some Z's.